Now on CoastTV News.
A taxing task in Lewis. Business owners raising concerns about the city's proposal to raise rental taxes.
Fixing up the boardwalk. Meet the Rehoboth Beach employee who keeps the boardwalk in tip-top shape.
The Fenwick Island Police Department might be acquiring some new equipment. What those might be coming up.
And we're going to have a frosty feel all night long. I'll update you on the latest cold warnings in our area in a moment.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Rental and lodging rates in Lewis could get higher if the city pushes through proposed taxes. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with the taxing process in the first town.
Right now, short-term rentals like Airbnbs in Lewis have to pay a 5% tax. That could go up by 1%, and people in the city are not happy about that. In the newsroom is Coast TV News anchor Mallory Metzner. Mallory, that's not the only proposed tax change.
Maddie, the mayor and city council met for a workshop meeting this morning. They talked for over an hour about changing the gross receipt rental tax and adding a lodging tax. Let me walk you through it here. For short-term rentals like Airbnbs or bed and breakfasts, the city is considering raising the gross receipts tax from 5 to 6%. The mayor said this is to level the playing field for these types of rentals. Hotels already have to pay an 8% state lodging tax, but that could change too. The city of Lewis is talking about adding its own 3% tax on top of that. Concerns were raised today about how that could put a strain on those in the rental industry and drive people away from this beach destination.
If you want Lewis to remain Lewis, the way I think most of us do, then you want small personalized properties. And this tax is just one more thing that just makes it really difficult. We're going to have a 11% tax now. That's a lot of money on a stay in Lewis.
No decisions were made today. The mayor said the next step for the lodging tax could possibly be adding it to a future agenda to discuss sending it to public hearing. Maddie, Charlie.
Thank you, Mallory. Heading to Ocean City now. Vacationers there might also face a hike in their hotel bills. House Bill 186 successfully passed both the Maryland House and Senate, which seeks to grant Eastern Shore counties the authority to raise hotel tax from 5 to 6% in Maryland. The bill awaits the signature of approval from Governor Wes Moore.
History in the making today at the U.S. Supreme Court as justices heard oral arguments in former President Trump's presidential immunity case. That stems from charges over his efforts to reverse the 2020 election results. NBC's Alice Barr shows us how justices are tasked with weighing a president's ability to act freely, to make decisions without fear of prosecution, against the bedrock principle that is, nobody is above the law.
In a deeply consequential case.
We're writing a rule for the ages.
U.S. Supreme Court justices hearing oral arguments over whether former President Trump should be immune from prosecution for official acts performed while he was president. His lawyers argue that should shield the former president against federal charges that he sought to illegally overturn the 2020 election, culminating in the January 6 Capitol attack. The attorney from special counsel Jack Smith's office refuting that.
Such presidential immunity has no foundation in the Constitution. The framers knew too well the dangers of a king who could do no wrong.
Former President Trump and his legal team insist that without criminal immunity, a president can't feel free to make difficult decisions and exercise
bold and fearless action in the face of controversy.
A president has to have immunity. If you don't have immunity, you just have a ceremonial president.
Conservative justices raised concerns about writing a decision too broadly that could be used against future presidents when they leave office.
That the president may be criminally prosecuted by a bitter political opponent, will that not lead us into a cycle that destabilizes the functioning of our country as a democracy?
Liberal Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson argued the opposite about the dangers of allowing a president with all his power to enter office knowing he would face no penalty for committing crimes.
I'm trying to understand what the disincentive is from turning the Oval Office into, the seat of criminal activity in this country.
The justices now weighing a ruling that could define the scope of presidential power and significantly impact the upcoming election. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Also in New York today, the state's highest court overturned media mogul Harvey Weinstein's 2020 rape conviction in the state, opening the door for a new trial. In its 4-3 ruling, the State Court of Appeals found the judge who presided over the case was prejudiced. The court said that the judge made improper rulings, including one which allowed women to testify about allegations that were not about the specific charges before the court. The 72-year-old is currently serving a 23-year sentence in a New York prison, but is expected to remain behind bars as he was sentenced to 16 years in L.A. for similar crimes.
Heading to Lewis now, the city hosted a workshop on marijuana legislation and regulations this morning. Mayor and council heard from Delaware's marijuana commissioner, Rob Koop. He spoke about things such as the Delaware Marijuana Control Act and marijuana licensing. Our reporter Charles Reiner is on this story as we speak. We're going to hear from him live at 6 o'clock about some other marijuana topics that were brought about in Lewis today.
And this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what should Lewis prioritize in their marijuana policy?
Let's take a look at the results so far. A majority, but not a strong majority, say regulation should be the priority, though accessibility is the number 2 vote at 35% there.
Also, options out there for you, safety and education. Now, if you haven't voted yet, still easy to do. Go to coasttv.com or use our Coast TV mobile app.
Today marks 3 years since Delmar Police Corporal Keith Hecook was killed in the line of duty. On April 25th, 2021, Hecook responded to a fight in progress in Delmar. He was then beaten by Randon Wilkerson and taken to shock trauma in Baltimore with significant head injuries. 3 days later, Corporal Hecook was taken off life support. Last year, Wilkerson was sentenced to life in prison. And now, Hecook Fest is held in April every year to honor the life of the fallen officer. This event features live music, activities, and raises money for nonprofits Operation We Care and Behind the Lines. Both of those organizations help law enforcement and their families.
Fenwick Island police officers are looking to add some new equipment to their department. The police chief is asking the town council for money to buy life rings for police cars and personal flotation devices, or PFDs, for police officers. He says these will help officers when rescuing people within the bays or ocean waters. Now, if approved, the department plans on adding life rings to each Fenwick cop car, and they have PFDs like a life vest ready for officers to use when entering the water.
A lot of people swim after 5 o'clock after the lifeguards go home, and rip currents are a problem here on the Atlantic coast. So I would like us to be prepared for these type of emergencies.
If the life rings and the PFDs are approved by the council tomorrow, then the chief says the Fenwick Police Department will actually have the equipment ready for use before summertime.
Let's go ahead and take a live look outside now into Salisbury, and we'll check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams with a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Maddie. You see those clear skies right there? That's a tricky little thing right there. Now, I know clear skies we always want sunshine, and I'm with that. But in this case, it's going to work against us. I'm going to show you that in a moment. First of all, our Laurel Tyndall's casual furniture camera, we're holding at 53 degrees. Temperatures are going to drop to 47, 45. And notice how the temperature is dropping because of the clear skies and light winds. That combination puts us here, folks. Frost advisory in effect until 9 o'clock, kicks off at about 2 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the morning for Friday. This means temperatures are going to fall near 34, 35 degrees, and it's going to get even colder in some areas because around us to our north, it's even colder that where they're dealing with freeze warnings. So we're going to talk about how cold we'll get and the plot twist for next week. Maddie.
Thank you. New today, the first cargo ship has successfully left Baltimore Harbor following the Key Bridge collapse in March. It's a sign recovery is moving forward at that key U.S. port. The Maryland Port Administration says this channel will likely be open for about 4 days. Officials predict a permanent channel will be available within the next 5 to 6 weeks.
Between the large crowds and the harsh weather conditions, the Rehoboth Beach Boardwalk, it could take a beating. But one city employee gives it the TLC it needs. Rick DeGrassi brought his 30 years of carpentry experience to Rehoboth Beach back in 2020. And although he works on all sorts of projects throughout the city, he's the only employee that's responsible for fixing the boardwalk. DeGrassi says that there are about 12,000 boards on the boardwalk, so the job keeps him pretty busy year-round, and he says he will work in any weather condition. Since people love the boardwalk, he says that he feels honored to have such an important job.
It's definitely a great feeling making the people here happy and being complimented all the time from people saying what a good job I do, and it just makes you love your job even more.
And although this work is a little tedious, he says he has no plans of stopping anytime soon. DeGrassi turns 59 in the summer, and he told CoastTV he hopes to do this job until he's 70.
That's awesome. New in Frankfurt from above with our Coast Copter. Let's check out the location of a new factory sports complex. It's going to open May 1st. It's a 20,000 square foot warehouse off Route 113 right by the water you see here in the center of your screen. The new complex from Factory Sports will have 2 basketball courts, an indoor turf field, strength and agility training.
Coming up, rules fishermen need to follow this spring to help with the striped bass population.
And oh, what a night we have in store as we brace for frost and freezing conditions for Friday morning. Details are forthcoming.
At first, the latest unrest in colleges across the country as pro-Palestinian protests grow. That's up next.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
Discover why Gateway Subaru is Delmarva's destination dealership, earning our customers' trust and exceeding expectations. No matter where you live, experience the Gateway difference with our no-pressure sales approach and fair, honest pricing. Plus, Gateway has more in-stock Subaru inventory to choose from than other dealers have combined. Need service fast? Our quick service lane is always ready. No appointment needed. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Hey, welcome to Poppy's Tacos. There's plenty of space for you and all of your friends. The menu is packed with real deal Mexican eats. Build your own tacos are always a fan favorite. Authentic short rib is my choice. The fajitas are steaming and the smothered burritos are killer. You're just in time for our daily happy hour. On Mondays, roll the dice to decide your discount. We're open 363 days a year, so come pull up a chair. Poppy's, there's always a fiesta on 15th Street.
Our soldiers are heroes who protect our country. But when they come home, it's up to us to help our heroes. Now, during FH First Spring Into Giving campaign, for every $29 cooling system tune-up we perform, we'll donate that amount directly to Wounded Warrior Project. FH Fur Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. Call 877-CALL-FUR or visit FHFur.com to schedule your $29 cooling system tune-up. And use hashtag SpringIntoGiving to share how you're giving back.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Protests and arrests are continuing at colleges and universities across the U.S.
From Boston to California, police have cuffed pro-Palestinian protesters demonstrating their discontent over the war in Gaza. Cole Higgins has the latest from across the country.
Walkouts, protests, and arrest set the scene for what's happening from coast to coast. This is a time that students usually would be focusing on classwork. Instead, they are focused on the Israel-Hamas war and writing their own chapter in the history books on American civil disobedience.
It was an overwhelming amount of force against a group of college students. They were in riot gear. It wasn't a riot. It was a peaceful 4-day encampment. People were singing for most of it and dancing.
In Boston, some students spent the morning trying to find a friend who was arrested to bail her out. Down south, protesters at Atlanta's Emory University were being taken in.
Why do we have police on this campus? Do we not see that anytime the police officers come, it exacerbates it? The police officers should be ashamed. Emory should be ashamed, and President Fenves do something.
Critics say university presidents need to do more. Some are canceling in-person classes and in some instances leaning on law enforcement for help. On Wednesday, close to 100 arrests were made at University of Southern California by the LAPD.
The university is a private campus, and the group had been violating some of their orders, and it was a trespass at that point.
Emerson school officials penning a letter to its student body saying, quote, "We support our community's right to express their views through protest. However, they must do so in a manner consistent with the laws." I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
Temps are dropping so fast you may have to pull in the plants for tonight. I'll explain why when we return.
Show your home some springtime love during Johnny Janosik's Spring Home Sale. Refresh your home with Delaware's guaranteed lowest prices, plus instant discounts up to $1,000. But hurry, the Spring Home Sale ends Monday at Johnny Janasik.
There's a joy that comes with building your new home on your lot, walking through your design, noticing the little things you visualized come to life, the progress, the completion, and the move-in to your new home. At Berica, we specialize in building strong, energy-efficient homes, custom built in our factory and finished on your lot, wherever that may be. Tour our model homes and factory at our main office in Greenwood. We're happy to help you begin your journey in building your new Berica. Start online today at bericahomes.com.
Fresh shrimp happens at the shrimp boat. Steamed crabs happen at the shrimp boat. Crab cakes happen at the shrimp boat. Seafood happens at the shrimp boat.
The Shrimp Boat in West Ocean City, opening for weekends starting Thursday. Dine in, take out, and catering. Stop in for your free sample of shrimp.
Dine in, carry out, fresh market too. All fresh caught and brought to you.
Washington, D.C. is a mess.
There's no common ground.
The left, the right, they're just shouting all the time, and no one's listening.
What a mess.
But now who is going to clean it up?
Republicans and Democrats are arguing all the time, and nothing gets done.
And it shouldn't be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Enough is enough. And it's why I'm running for the U.S. Senate, to be a voice of common sense. I'm Larry Hogan. I approve this message because it's time we stop the partisan BS and get stuff done.
Don't miss the Beauty Rest Black closeout event at Johnny Janosik's Mattress World. Shop now and save up to 50% on Beauty Rest Black floor sample closeouts. Plus, get a free gift for a limited time only at Johnny Janosik's Mattress World.
Back pain? Trouble sleeping? Slowing down? Reduce stress by 22% with hydrotherapy, lessening pain and improving sleep. At Delaware Hot Tub Company, we have saltwater hot tubs to give you these relaxing health benefits. A simpler, cleaner way to relax using fewer chemicals and easier to maintain too. Why stress when you can relax? Hot tubs, hotter prices at Delaware Hot Tub Company in Millsboro and Lewis. Ask about 0% financing.
I'm so proud. Clear skies, usually a good thing, and still a good thing. But in this case, it might work a little bit against us. I'm going to explain that in just a moment, where a good thing is not always necessarily a good thing. Our Gateway Subaru camera showing just how clear it is. It's a good thing for right now, though. It's beautiful. You notice it's a lot cooler right now than it was yesterday. We're going to fall well into the 40s tonight with partly cloudy skies, but then the skies will begin to clear out, and that's where the trick or the rub comes in. 55 for the high in Georgetown and in Salisbury, but here's where it comes into play. When you have light winds and clear skies, frost, especially with a flow coming out of the north, that's a concern. We have a frost advisory that kicks off at 2 o'clock in the morning, stays in effect until 9. That's for all of Sussex County. Now, in addition to that, we do have a coastal flood statement active for Dorchester. That's kind of customary. I'm just letting you know about that. But just so you know, in the general big scheme of things, we have freeze warnings over in portions of New Jersey. So we're in the midst of all of this unusually cold air that's gripping the entire Northeast, courtesy of this dominant high pressure system that's just causing everybody to pull back out their winter clothes. 47 right now in Rehoboth as well as Bethany Beach, and we're holding at 55 degrees in Redden, 52 in Milton. Your checklist for tonight, oh, you better have the long sleeves and grab the hat. Notice I'm not saying cool, chilly. I'm going with flat out cold right now. And that's what we're going to be dealing with for tonight. Now, quick look at your boardwalk forecast. Listen, we're going to drop into the 40s. We're barely going to reach the 50s for today. We may catch a little stray sprinkle occasionally, but it's still about the cold. Because, I mean, we're staying pretty clear overnight. Now, as you take a look at what it's going to feel like, it's going to feel like 39 to 40 degrees Friday morning at the very least. This is the best case scenario for us. Now, also, if you're not shivering, you're sneezing, okay? Because look, trees are at extreme, grass is at a high level, and now weeds are a part of the mix, as if you already didn't have enough to sneeze about, right? I know. Winds out of the northeast for Friday morning as the temperatures will be in the low 40s, but feeling like the 30s now. Remember, frost advisory till 9 o'clock. Friday afternoon, we're in the 50s. Saturday, we see cloud cover thickening up. And then Saturday afternoon, we'll have the winds coming out of the southeast, and that's going to make it feel a little bit better. We may get a passing sprinkle occasionally, but overall, it's going to stay quiet. Now, if you're going to be going out hiking for Friday, remember, we're only going to peak at about 55 degrees by 1 o'clock, but we're going to enjoy lots of sunshine. Now, the most southern portion of our viewing area, we start off in the 40s Friday morning, Friday afternoon, mid-50s, okay? Clear skies. Clouds build up on Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, we may watch out for a sprinkle or two to slide through Princess Anne and Salisbury at about 3:30. That's going to be really light rain if it even reaches the ground. Tonight, mostly clear, fast dropping temps, 39 degrees. Frost advisory until 9 o'clock in the morning for the morning time. It's going to be a bright, beautiful day. Don't let that sunshine fool you now. Saturday, more sunshine and just slightly warmer. And then finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast. I'm a good news kind of guy, so I know that's not all great, but look at next week, huh? Huh? Who's your friend? Who's your buddy?
You know, it's not you, Paul, because you just talked about all the pollen, and I know you don't make the pollen, but I got to blame somebody. Here's something to keep in mind if you like to go fishing on Delmarva. The Maryland Department of Resources is reminding fishermen you can't catch striped bass in the Chesapeake or its tributaries, at least not until May 15th. Emergency regulations were put into place to try to protect the striped bass after several years of below-average spawning success. Fishermen are encouraged to target other fish during the closure, like the invasive blue catfish.
Rough week? Cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV. You can subscribe to the Coast TV Feel Good Friday newsletter by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. The newsletter has personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more sent straight to your inbox each Friday morning. Coast TV News will be right back.
From gentle ocean breezes to small country towns, Sussex County has it all. That's why you need a real estate company that is familiar with it all. Mann & Sons offers decades of experience throughout Sussex County. Whether it's helping you purchase your forever home or find the perfect vacation rental at the beach. Trust our experience. Trust Mann & Sons.
For over 30 years, the difference is clear. Mann & Sons Real Estate.
This weather's brought to you by
Mann & Sons Real Estate.
When you take a chance can take you to unexpected places. Whoa. BetRivers Online Casino. Feel the rush.
At Matt the Carpet Guy, we take our work seriously. That's why we employ the best of the best, to ensure you find exactly what you're looking for. With a warehouse big enough to keep everything in stock, and a showroom we can bring to you. The hardworking team at Matt the Carpet Guy brings affordable flooring within reach. We have cash and carry LVP starting at $1.99. Perfectly installed every time. Matt the Carpet Guy, flooring done right. the family way.
$6 billion. The total economy of a small country. Now a cash grab for Fat Cat Delaware lawyers. Because Chancellor Kathleen McCormick is doing their bidding. She stopped a legally binding contract in order to grant them billions in legal fees. That's a $300,000 an hour cash grab for McCormick's future bosses, while everyday Delawareans barely scrape by. What does McCormick have to say about these Delaware Fat Cat lawyers? We've always had each other's backs.
You may think your home's crawl space is okay, but chances are it's not. Mold, pests, and rotting beams can all cause problems for your home and for your family. The good news is your home's crawl space problems can be fixed permanently, so you and your family can rest easy. Because crawl space problems won't get better with time, but they will get better with us.
Call Dry Zone today for your free estimate.
Brought to you by Dry Zone, your local crawl space experts.
If you know of a soon-to-be high school grad who's looking for some tips on how to transition into college, listen to this. The Boys and Girls Club of Delaware will host a college planning conference May 4th for students and families to take advantage of. The free event will provide families and their students with the information they need to successfully prepare and pay for college. Informational seminars on financial aid and scholarships will also be available. That's at 10 a.m. at the Greater Dover Boys and Girls Club.
Indian River School District is set to celebrate diversity within the district next week. On April 29th, the district will be holding Diversity Night at Sussex Central High School. The district says there will be a number of community organizations and multiple performances to enjoy. This is happening from 5 to 8 p.m.
In sports, catch Into the Trenches on DSN and WBOC tonight at 7:30. It's all about the Wildcat legacy. We'll take you into the huddle with the Del Mar High School football team. Witness the team's challenges, triumphs, and community spirit in this new series. We'll be right back.
Oh, porches. Hello, aren't you the guy I see on TV, the porch protection guy?
Yeah, I would say.
So they're made of marine grade materials that last for years?
Yeah, I would.
And they say I could use my porch all year round?
I think so.
And they keep the dirt, pollen, and rain and wind out? And the custom made right here locally?
They are.
I got to run, but it was really nice talking to you.
Well, it was nice talking to you too.
Call or visit porchprotection.com for your free quote.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Charmed by Lewis.
Visit our unique shops and restaurants.
Lewis Gourmet and Puzzles, 30 years supporting the community. Eat extraordinary with local and global specialty foods and inspire your brain with jigsaws and more.
Breathe in the essence of spring at Floral Inspirations. Discover vibrant blooms and charming gifts for every occasion.
Or just come in for the smell of it.
Nectar Cafe. Breakfast and lunch, fresh squeezed juices, espresso, cocktails, amazing omelets, healthy salads, hearty sandwiches, Lewis and Millsboro.
Come explore.
Historic Lewis.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care, women's health services, to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Social Security and Medicare aren't just handed to us.
We've earned them.
Hour by hour.
Day by day.
Paycheck by paycheck.
They aren't plans.
They're a promise.
Made to every American. Every American.
And we're not gonna let anyone
break it.
Break it.
Break it.
Neither will I. And you can consider that a promise too. David Trone will stand up to Republicans looking to strip the safety net seniors depend on. And there's no backing down.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
Beautiful weather for right now, but it's going to be beautifully cold tomorrow morning, so just get ready to bundle up. Our Bay Health camera in Dover, we're looking at 53 degrees. Will fall down to the 40s pretty quickly as the skies begin to kind of clear up and thin out. We have a frost advisory that's active for all of Sussex between 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. Now, also we have the small craft advisory along the coast, and so imagine frosty temperatures along with yeah, and winds. By the way, our number to call, 443-880-9100, sponsored by Baird, Mandalis, Brockstedt, and Federico. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. I know it's cold for tomorrow, but next week, we're going to be doing, as they say in the South, mighty fine.
Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.